So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now, before we get into it, I forgot to say this in the last video due to everything that has transpired while I've been gone. Unexpected vacation. Make sure y'all hit up the other channels, man, and subscribe. That way, if anything, you know where to find me. All right? So, had to get that out of the way. I meant to say that in the last video, but totally forgot. So, but listen, next video, forget all that. Next video, top 10 haunted items too scary for museums. All right. Now, if you look around your house, maybe in your garage or something like that, you might got some items that could go into, if you love going to like garage sales and be buying some weird stuff, trust me, I got a few aunties like that. You know what I mean? One, I have an auntie that used to be, rest in peace, auntie. But I had one auntie, bro, she would go out and buy some suspect stuff, like this creepier the better to her. You know what I mean? And as a kid, I think that's probably what messed me up as a kid, fam, for real. But we're gonna check this video out. If you're new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on the other channels. Join the fam, and let's check it out. Here we go.
Whether it's a wedding dress of a woman who never got to see her special day and who died lonely and angry, or a metal mask that is said to hold the power of an ancient demon, these items are haunted and they are terrifying. Let's dive into all things spooky as we cover part 2 of the top 10 haunted items too scary for museums. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Anna Baker's wedding dress. In 1836, a man named Elias Baker purchased a mansion in Altoona, Pennsylvania and moved his small family in. Elias's oldest daughter was named Anna, and when she fell in love with a steel worker, things took a dark turn.
Why's the name always gotta be Anna? Annabelle, and something. If that's your kid, you should be worried. You should be worried. Pay attention to that kid. If you named your kid Anna or Annabelle, watch that kid, all right? Something's bound to happen.
Daughter was named Anna, and when she fell in love with a steel worker, things took a dark turn. Anna's father didn't want her dating this man, but she kept doing it in secret. The story goes that Anna and the man planned a secret wedding and were going to elope. Unfortunately, Elias found out and freaked out. He apparently purchased the steel mill that the man worked for and then forced him to have to move to an entirely different city so as to prevent him from being able to continue seeing Anna. Anna, of course, was furious with her father, and I'm sure this was only made worse by his decision to offer other men to her, to which she of course declined because that's just weird. Anna instead locked herself in a room with her wedding dress that she never got to wear. Anna unfortunately never married after that and spent the rest of her life being terribly upset about the whole incident. After her death, it is said that her anger and despair ended up going into the wedding dress. Members of the Baker family reported seeing the dress in different places around the house, despite no one moving it themselves. Some have even reported seeing Anna's spirit dressed in the gown around the house as well. In our number 9 spot today,
doing what? And first of all, trust me, if I was around that thing, I'd be like, listen, Anna, listen. I had nothing to do with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had nothing. That was your daddy. I'll take you to him. Matter of fact, I'll just put you in an Uber and let you Uber to him, yeah, or find him or to his gravesite and go see him. I had nothing to do with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why would I have to deal with that?
We have the Golden Eagle. This car was a 1964 Dodge 330 limited edition, and it has been blamed for the death of around 14 people, which, like, how do we even let it get that out of control?
Right.
It is said that the car started out as a police car originally, but there were 3 officers assigned to this car who all ended up taking their lives and other people's lives in horrible ways. Not in the car, but still super weird that this all seemed to happen after they had been using the cars for work. Because of this strange correlation, it ended up being sold off to another man. Throughout the 80s and 90s, it is said that because of the rumored cursed car, it became a point of interest for vandals. People began vandalizing the car only to meet their own untimely fates, which were all met in strange ways. For example, it was said that one vandal died from being struck by lightning. It is said that the curse is so strong that one person decided to merely touch the car, and it sent him into madness as he went on to commit atrocious crimes after that, that I cannot even detail here on YouTube. The car now belongs to Wendy Allen, who supposedly collects and decorates haunted cars for a living, so it seems as though it's finally found its home.
Like, people act like this is a game. People are like, come on, man. And then for the people who knew it was something wrong with this car still, it's like the kid who knows the stove is hot and still touches it. Your parents try to tell you, so they let you touch it and say, told you, I bet you won't do it again. People are dying and y'all still, and even this lady just took and bought it to keep it as a souvenir? What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? It's
far, far away from anyone else. In our number 8 spot today, we have the Blarney Stone. For hundreds of years, the Blarney Stone has resided within Blarney Castle, which is near Cork, Ireland. The stone is a piece of limestone, and legend says that those who give the stone a smooch will then be given the gift of the gab. This little smooch can bestow the power of being able to talk your way out of any situation, which would be incredibly useful, but there are those who always try to indulge in too much of a good thing. The issues start when you attempt to take a piece of the stone, no matter how small, away from its home. Those who don't follow the rules and take the stone end up being cursed with bad luck. Every year the castle receives parcels from greedy tourists who tried their luck at stealing portions of the stone. These parcels are returned with the intention of lifting the curse of misfortune. It is said that once the stone is returned, the curse will be lifted, which is most definitely good news. So I guess the moral of this curse, however, is to not be greedy and to just follow the rules. In our number 7 spot today, we have...
That's a life lesson. A lot of us would be better off if we followed that lesson, including me. You know what I mean? Don't be too greedy. If you win at the roulette table, don't be too greedy. It's normally when I'm being greedy is when I lose it.
We have the Terracotta Army. The Terracotta Army was discovered in China, and it is a massive piece of funerary art that is thought to be one of the most massive archaeological finds of modern times. It truly is incredible, and it's something that's been attracting tourists from all over the world since its discovery. But for those who did the discovering, well, things haven't been going so well. In 1974, there were 7 farmers who happened to stumble upon this huge discovery, and you would think that this would come with some kind of a reward, but instead, things have been going terribly for them. Soon after the discovery, the government claimed their farmland. After this, their homes were demolished in order to make way for the exhibition halls and gift shops that were to come. They didn't just get nothing for the discovery, they ended up losing because of it. This is exactly why many people believe that perhaps with the unearthing of this huge piece of art, they also dug up some sort of curse that was buried long ago. In our number 6 spot today, we have the MYRTLES Plantation Mirror. MYRTLES Plantation is located in St. Francisville, Louisiana, and it is said to be one of the most haunted places in the entire world, which seems like that would make a lot of sense. One of the reasons for this spooky reputation is because of a mirror that resides inside of it. It is said that this mirror holds the spirit of Sarah Woodruff and 2 of her children. Legend goes that a woman named Chloe was a slave at the plantation, and she drew up a sort of plan to get revenge on the owners of it, Sarah and her husband. Chloe baked a cake full of poison for them, but in the end, the rest of the family, except for the husband, ended up consuming the poisonous cake. When they passed away, it is said that their spirits went into the only mirror that was uncovered at the time, thus this haunted mirror was born. People who have since visited the plantation have claimed to see the family in the reflection, as well as handprints on the glass, despite the continuous polishing. In our number 5 spot today,
How many of y'all are superstitious? Because I always hear like the superstitious stuff like, don't break a mirror, crack a mirror. What is it? Crack or break a mirror or something like that? You know what I mean? That's what I automatically thought of. Like, how do you get that spirit out? You don't break the mirror, right? You have to get rid of it, correct? Oh, interesting. I was thinking, just thought.
We have tap shoes. These tap shoes were listed on eBay, and they are cute as can be. They're black shiny ones with a red bow to tie them together. They look recital ready, but apparently they haven't been used in a long time, and the reason behind it all is chilling. Legend goes that these shoes once belonged to a little girl who loved to dance. At some point, the shoes were retired, and she would go on to meet an untimely fate. The shoes ended up being placed with other old The shoes ended up being placed with other old memento items and put in a closet and sort of forgotten about. The shoes, as well as the other items with it, ended up being part of an estate sale years later, but the spirit of the person who passed may have already had some other ideas about what they wanted to happen to the shoes. The seller of the shoes reported that there were mysterious happenings surrounding the shoes as they were clearing out their late aunt's house, the person who was the owner of the shoes.
Now, I've always heard you don't ever put on like a dead person's shoes. Never. Never. I learned that early on. You know what I mean? I don't even know the reasoning why. But if somebody tells you, hey, you never put on a dead person, I'm gonna listen. Like, that's not something you gotta tell me twice. Ain't something you gotta convince me to be like, but why not? I want to put up. No, you hear something like that, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Clearly.
They explained that there were mysterious knocking sounds coming from inside of the closet, almost as if the shoes were tapping by themselves. Also, as it turns out, the house had quite a gruesome history that included killings, so if not the aunt's ghost, perhaps there's another one lurking somewhere in there. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Dark Mirror. This mirror now resides with the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and the Occult, but prior to that, this mirror was received from the owner who had purchased it from a psychic fair. It is believed that this mirror was created sometime around the 1820s or 30s, and it is actually quite beautiful to look at, despite the sinister things it seems to hold. The owner who gave it to the museum explained that every time they peered into the mirror, they saw these extremely upsetting things while looking into the dark mirror's reflection. The museum has said that since they added the mirror to their collection, there have been guests who have also reported the same kind of things. Guests have claimed to see things reflected back at them, like sightings of their own corpse. In our number 3 spot today, we have the water jug. Okay, estate sales are weird places. There are weird—
Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? Huh? Estate sales, garage sales, yard sales, whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? Estate sales is when somebody's died, passed away. The other one's a little bit different, but you can still find some craziness at these places, bro.
In our number 3 spot today, we have the water jug. Okay, estate sales are weird places. There are weird things there, some quirky items, but this has got to be one of the strangest on a whole bunch of different levels. It's a decorative drinking jug, but it's being held in a miniature cart that's being pulled by a porcelain donkey. I truly could not make that item up, nor—
What the? Now, this different, very different. Like, this looked like it came straight out of New Orleans. Nothing against, no offense to nobody in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know y'all my fam. I can't wait to get back down there, get some beignets, try me some other food down there. Y'all, food, good. But this does look like I can cop this or pick this up on Bourbon Street somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. This is try our booze? Nah, no thank you.
is being pulled by a porcelain donkey. I truly could not make that item up, nor could I make up the fact that this kitschy item is also apparently haunted. The seller of this item spoke about how he grew up with the item around, as it was always displayed at his grandmother's house, and that she always kept it full of water. This was all fine and dandy until after she passed away and he was taking care of the estate and he bumped into it. How was this jug filled with water when no one was there to fill it? He thought that perhaps it was just old leftover water and he just ignored it, but the same thing seemed to happen repeatedly. And it wasn't even like the water level was staying the same. It would increase, seemingly all on its own. The seller decided that this was not an item that they wanted to hold on to and decided it would be best to pass on to someone who was ready to take on this mysterious, strange object. In our number 2 spot today, we have Letta the doll. Before we really dive into this one, can we just acknowledge how all cursed dolls look like they would be a cursed doll? I mean, like Annabelle.
Again, she said the name before I could stop it. I was about to say, what is that doll's name, y'all? We was just talking about this earlier.
Robert, they both totally look like dolls that would be holding a secret, scary curse. And this doll, Letta, is just another one that we can add to that list. Letta is a doll that is said to be around 200 years old and is extremely cursed. This doll is called Letta for short, as its full name is Letta Me Out. Really clever. The doll was originally found underneath a house, which definitely feels like the origin story of a haunted doll. The creepy
or Exorcist movie. Sounds like the beginning of an Exorcist movie.
Discovery came 47 years ago. Letta still lives with the man who found him. The hauntings of Letta include things like the doll walking around on its own at night, the owners finding objects around the house that have been moved into odd places. Some people have even seen Letta move right in front of their own eyes, and the owner also reports finding little doll-sized scuff marks around the home as well. It is said that this doll once belonged to someone who passed away while holding it, thus their spirit became trapped inside of the doll. Apparently one day in an interview about Letta, as the interviewer was asking questions about the person who passed, the doll began to move in her lap. Yeah, no thank you. Letta has his own Instagram and Facebook page in case you want to hear more about all of the creepiness surrounding this cursed doll. In our #1 spot today,
everybody gets an Instagram and Facebook page, even a haunted doll. Why not?
We have the mask. This metal mask resembles the face of a monkey. It's definitely already a little strange looking, but the story is even more interesting. According to the seller of this item, they explained that they acquired this mask in Thailand, but not before they experienced a supernatural battle where a witch used spells to bind the spirit of a jinn to the mask, trapping it in. Since then, the mask is said to be full of supernatural powers, some of which could bring benefits, but it takes a whole pile of work. This mask is said to have the ability to fend off vampires as well as potentially bring riches to its owner, but it needs some things in return.
Exactly. It's just like medicine you hear on TV. For every good thing it does, it got 20 side effects that'll take you out. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like hearing that when you hear those commercials.
The entity in the mask needs regular offerings of food and drink, and it also requires the owner to meditate in front of it for 20 minutes, 3 times a day. Talk about high maintenance. If a person refuses to do these things while in possession of the mask, it is said that a cruel fate awaits them. I mean, what do you expect when you anger an ancient spirit? Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today.
True, so stay away from masks, stay away from white dresses, stay away from dolls that you find under your house, stay away from dolls named Annabelle, people named Annabelle, whatever, man. Just be wise. You know what I'm saying? If they telling you a car is taking people out, stay away from it. That's all I'm saying. A lot of times the signs be there, but we just ignore them. Or we be too curious. That's our problem too curious. And these estate sales, leave them alone. Just leave them. Just leave them, or be careful. That's all I'm saying. But y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what you thought of this video. The top 10 haunted items too scary for museums. It's your boy L, man. Stick around and stay tuned. Until next one, I'm gone. Peace.